All right, everyone. Welcome back to the channel here at Future Trading with Mike, and I'm going to dive into the topic right now because I have been receiving some DMs, some comments in reference to cum delta at price or at volume as well. Okay, people have asked about the red and green histogram bars to the right-hand side of volume profile, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Okay, because it can help you give more confirmation or confluence to a specific area. You know me, I trade supply and demand. So if I'm at an area of supply or demand and I can draw, say for instance right here, this is a micro profile that I am able to scroll over or shadow over a particular area, depending on the price movement, price action in the area that I'm interested in. So this is the area of supply here, which I'm gonna talk about using as an example. And then we'll see if we can find another example to talk about as well. But I wanted to talk about the red and green histogram here. This is delta at price or at volume here in reference to the volume profile. Okay, you do have delta that I have here at the lower portion. At the bottom here, that's more of a I guess I say linear. Kind of like how you see price up here at the top. See these candlesticks here at the bottom. It moves kind of the same, but this is a little bit different here. So I like to read and kind of pick up on if I'm trading from an area of supply or demand. I can look to see what's going on at above or below a certain volume area. Okay, and then when I see price, if it's above a certain volume area, I'm taking a look at the delta to the right hand side here. In this case here, I've blown up a small area here that we're going to look at an area of supply. Okay, but before we get started, I want to highly recommend that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe by taking the time to click on the subscribe button down below, the red button, as well as click on the bell. Make sure you turn your post notifications on so you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel. Okay, we also have a Discord community where we have a growing community of over 800 members now on the within the community, and I'll talk about that towards the end of the video here. But I want to talk about how I use delta in trading around supply and demand. Now, if it's your first time viewer here on the channel, first time clicking on one of the videos, I trade based on supply and demand. Now, I do not trade support and resistance. A lot of people will say that support and resistance is supply and demand. No, it is not. You have to understand what supply and demand really is, okay? Support and resistance is more so a break and retest, come back to what I call the mouth or the neck of a area of resistance or support, and price reacting at those particular zones or levels, okay? But supply and demand is more so you're getting in where the move actually started at, okay? So if you got a swing to the upside, that area of demand, the origination where price started at on that move to the upside, coming out of that swing, started at the bottom of that swing, and vice versa. If you're taking an area or an area of supply, price moved to the downside, that area of supply where the move started to push to the downside is back or tucked within that swing area, okay? So if you don't know much about supply and demand, I have plenty of videos here on the channel talking about supply and demand, the strategies I use trading supply and demand, especially if you're a new trader or beginner trader. There are, tons of individuals or community members on the Discord. You can come over and ask them about the strategy if you choose to. But we do have some successful traders that have started using the strategy or possibly even incorporate it into their own style, but kind of it is giving them a better edge in their trading, and they've started to see their trading turn around tremendously. So, it just depends, guys. I mean, if something's working for you at the end of the day, I say stick with it. If it's not, you're a new trader, like I said, a beginner trader, and looking for something to where you can gain an edge in the market and learn something that's pretty easy or simple to trade with, I highly recommend you going in and watching the videos, okay? And I'll also explain at the end of the video as well is that I put together a playlist of videos that kind of give individuals who have come to the channel I say more so a fast track idea or a fast track way of going into the channel versus having to watch over 400 videos. I've handpicked and selected certain videos that may be able to give you a quicker edge or were you able to gain the information at a quicker pace than having to watch all those videos, okay? And I'll talk about that as well. But let me go ahead and talk about this, okay? Cum delta at price, looking at the volume profile, okay? So this is not going to be talking in detail about cum delta, okay? Breaking it down, what it is, and how it actually works, and how you can use it in your trading, looking at cumulative delta in fine detail. Okay, now delta is no more. Delta is just really more so is level 2 activity going on within the markets, to where you have market orders and limit orders. But if you really want to dive deep into understanding cumulative delta, I highly recommend that you go to your research to get a full breakdown on what delta is. Everybody has their own little twist or take on cumulative delta, and we did have an individual here on the channel within the Discord community just a few days ago. And if you join the Discord, you can go and you'll find it within the general, I think the general chat channel side of the Discord, that pretty much breaks down and discusses, kind of gives a better explanation about delta if you have a question about it, how it works in relation to the market orders and limit orders, absorption and things of that nature, because you have all that going on. And you have to be able to cautiously understand what's going on as price is moving and in relation to delta when orders are hitting the market. Or, are they market orders, and limit orders sitting out there, and are the market orders being absorbed by the limit orders, vice versa? So things like that, you have to understand what's going on and getting a better idea so you can see the full picture as a whole. So how I look at delta, okay, when I am actually trading, yes, I do have delta here. You can see it here at the bottom as well, okay? And it looks more so as far as what price is actually doing. It looks like, the candles, like price movement, right? But it's actually cumulative delta. But I also have it loaded here to my chart as well in relation to the right-hand side of the volume profile, okay? But I'm gonna blow this area here back up, and we'll talk about, let me blow this up, specific area and how I use, when I'm trying to pinpoint and use delta as a means of confluence and getting into a trade, kind of pinpoint an area. So here's an area of supply right here, okay? So if you don't know much about supply and demand, I highly recommend you going to the channel and watching some videos where I cover supply and demand trading, okay? And simply maybe doing your own homework, because trust me, I've done tons spent hundreds of hours doing my own homework, studying the markets and understanding supply and demand. Now, if you're not a supply and demand style trader, then this video is not for you. But if you're here and you clicked on this channel and you want to, try to get an understanding of how to use cumulative delta with or along with supply and demand style trading, then you clicked on the right video. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Here we have an area of supply. Okay, the top right here. So I know I'm rambling on at the beginning, but guys, I'm diving deep into it now to talk about how I use this. All right, but here's an area of supply right here. You're asking why is that supply? Of course, because we have a move to the upside here. Okay, there's a little area right here where there is some demand that has kind of congregated, or the market kind of moved sideways or kind of zipped right here, create a small area of demand right here, right? All right, price top of the top right here, okay, and turn around, broke to that area of what? It broke through an area of this area of demand down here at the bottom. Returns back to this top area right here, okay? There's an area of supply sitting right here at the top, okay? So if I was to draw this, we could draw it right here in this area, all right? Now, whoops, sorry about that. Let me take this off. Okay, come on. I'm waiting for my chart to kind of unlock itself, and then we'll move forward. Okay, here we go. So what I've done is I've also drawn out a little micro profile here that includes the delta to the left-hand side here, okay? All right, a delta histogram, okay, right here. So you got the volume profile, the delta histogram, okay? Price breaks below this area right here, okay? It takes out the small area of demand, but when it does that, it creates an area of supply sitting at the top right here. So breaks through it, you see it, takes it out, all right? Break a structure, pretty much the downside, taking out area of demand, pull us back to this area of supply right here. Now, when it gets back here, look, me personally, I don't have to use the cumulative delta. I do like to use volume because volume is extremely important in trading each and every day. But when you can use certain tools or indicators, and I'm not talking about EMAs and SMAs, and maybe you trade those type things, or RSIs, MACDs, and all that, that's fine. If that's your, if that's your cup of tea, then you continue using it. I'm not here to tell anyone what to use, what not to use. I'm just trying to show you how I trade and what I use on a daily that helps me give me better confirmation and confluence when I'm trading the markets, okay? I'm looking purely at my charts, guys. My camera's right here, but I'm looking at my charts, okay? Or this chart here. So as price pulls back to this area right here, all right, what do I see? Okay, I see a couple of things. I see an area of supply, one, okay? Now, let me say this because I've talked about this many times before, and people it's basically a 1, 2, 3 type setup rule that or that I incorporate as far as the strategy of how I use supply and demand. I gotta see a breaking structure. You guys know that who've been following the channel. Also, what do I want to see? I want to see a gap. Okay, some people call it fair value gap, whatever the case is. I call it simply a gap. Okay, as well as I want to see a break of a candle in the opposite direction once price gets to that area. To get, what does that signify? That signifies to me rejection in the market. Okay. But also I use cumulative delta, okay? I don't always have to use it, but I do like to at certain points. If, price gets to an area, and I say, okay, let me get a little bit more clarification here to see, or get more confirmation to see if this trade is really going to have more, going to work out, all right? So when price pulls back to this zone here, okay, 1, I got a breaker structure. 2, I got a gap. 3, retraces back, to this area of supply, and then look for a breaker structure. But also with this cum delta sitting right here, and one of the things, or 2 other things too. Okay, I'm gonna say this: price pulls back. Where are we at? It's sitting above a high volume area. Now, when I like to take my short entry trades and the area of supply, I'm looking to take to trade at, above a high volume area, not below it or right at the volume area. Okay. If you're trading in the middle of a volume area, then you're trading in an area where most of the transactions, a lot of congestion is going on there, and you don't want to trade in areas like that. Okay. You want to trade, you want to sell when price at higher price points and buy at lower price points. So in this case here, I want to be a seller at the upper edge of a high volume area and take the trade back to at least the mean, back to the meat, back to the high volume area, okay, and below, okay. If I'm going to be a buyer, then I want to take my trade from the bottom end of a high volume area and take it back up to the upside, okay. Because I've said this before, price likes to move from a high volume area, okay, all right, and break through it, through a low volume area to the next high volume node, okay? And in this case here, you see it pull back up to this upside here, above the high volume area, breaks through the high volume area, and what does it do? It starts testing lower areas where there is lower volume, okay? And then at some point, it's going to tap into a high volume area, okay? Below it. Now, it's pulled back above the high volume area, we're at a point of supply, but I'm going to look at my cumulative delta as well, okay? Now, one thing I want to see if I'm a seller, in this case here at supply, I see a kind of a void here, okay? I'm looking for areas where there is imbalance in the market, okay? Meaning that when I want to be a seller at an area of supply, I'm looking for a block here of cum delta, what delta is green histogram bars here. I got a block of delta right here, all right? When it starts to thin out above it, okay, and I'm tapping more so into an area of imbalance, an area of more voids where there's not much activity going on, okay, that's what I call an imbalance. And I specifically would like to see a hole, meaning that where there's no delta activity at all, completely an imbalance where there is basically just a voided area there, no delta, no activity in the delta at all. But in this case here, we do have a little bit of action right here of delta, but it's nowhere near of significance as this block right here, okay? So when price pulls back above this area, we're above the high volume area, okay? We're at this area here first, where there's a small block of delta. This would, it could signify buying, okay? If this histogram continues to grow, what that would show me basically is that there could be an increased possibility of buyers stepping into the market, more buyers stepping into the market to run the market back to the upside. But it starts to thin out. You notice this little delta cluster here, okay? It starts to thin out right there, and above it we got a void here, kind of a hole here, okay? Which to me that signifies an imbalance. So a couple things here. Like I said, I got a breaker structure, I got a gap, creates an area of supply, okay? Price returns back to this area here to where I got supply. I'm above a high volume area, and I got an imbalance here. Price is setting up, looking at cum delta, we got an imbalance here. I want to be a seller above a green cluster block here, where there's delta above it, where delta starts to thin out, or I have an imbalance where there's basically no delta, no delta information being created or data being created there. Okay. So when price gets back to that area there, and then I get that break of the candle to the downside, I want to be a seller to at least take price back down to the low right here, okay? So understand that. And it works in reverse when price is hitting an area of demand. Say for instance, I'm looking for an area or a red cluster block, okay, of delta, all right? At the bottom, And then when it starts to taper off or get an imbalance below that area there where there's no pretty much data in reference to delta information, then I want to be a buyer. Okay, so in this case here, you want to be a seller. Again, supply at the above the area of this green cluster of delta right here. All right, starting to get an imbalance above it. Okay, above the high volume area, and I want to go short. All right, so now let's take a look and see if we can find or show an example of where there is, in reverse of that, an area of delta where we're looking now specifically at a block of red delta, okay? And I want to be a buyer. Price rejects a certain area at demand, and again, where delta forms a red cluster block, and below we start to get an imbalance where there's no delta activity, okay? So let's find that right now here on the charts. Okay, so now here's an area here that we'll talk about demand, okay? Now, first of all, what do you see going on, okay? Price makes a low here. Then it starts to make these higher highs and higher lows to the upside right here, taking out structure, of course, okay? All right, so as it's doing that, all right, it creates this area of demand resting right here. It pushes up, pulls back, kind of zips here, pushing higher. So on the pullback here, you got a lot of buying activity, okay? Now, you don't really specifically have a full-on gap right here, but you have to be able to read price action here and understand that there's an area of demand being created here, okay? As price pushed up here, retraced back, and a lot of buying activity came out of the zone to the upside, making a new high right here, okay? So this would be what I include as an area of demand. So we have to pinpoint where would the demand zone be at, all right? We don't want to mark it or place it, let me show you here, right here, which is like, if you look at the move to the upside, where price broke higher, taking out this high right here and making a new high, this would be like the 50% area or move from this leg to the upside. We really don't want to trade in that area there when price pulls back, okay? All right. You want to pinpoint an area at the lower end of a swing where the buying activity took place. And always, if you use the volume profile, it will kind of point that out for you, okay? Use the volume profile as, like how I always say this, as a GPS, as a roadmap to let you know where you particularly need to be buying or selling at, okay? In this case here, do I want to be a buyer right here in the middle of the volume profile? No. I want to be a buyer, like I said, at the lower portion of the volume profile to take it back up to at least the mean and higher, okay? Buy the lows, sell the highs. I'm sure you guys have heard so many traders say that, or so many novice traders say that, people that actually are experienced and know what they're actually doing and looking at, okay? So let's talk about this, all right? Now, price creates this demand area, right? Where are we going to place, where would our block be for our demand zone? We're just going to say it's right here, okay? All right? Oh, sorry about that. Right there in that area there, okay? Now, wait for the computer to unlock this area. Okay, there we go. Oops. All right. So price retraces back. I'm not looking for a trade right here at the middle of the volume area, okay? All right. So we're going to look at price in relation to volume at our area of demand. So when price pulls back or retraces back to our demand zone, okay? All right. I'm looking to be a buyer and price gets back here for a couple reasons. Why? Below the high volume area, tap into a demand block as well. Now I'm looking at the delta. I'm looking at delta information, okay? Now, to the left-hand side of this micro profile that I've drawn out here, okay? What do you see here? You see a little red delta cluster down here at the bottom, all right? Now, where it starts to taper off and I get an imbalance is right here, okay? Now, again, pull back below the high volume area. We're in a demand zone. I'm looking for an area on the delta, where pretty much there's no red delta. People kind of, I guess, think that when price gets right here in this area here, that maybe a lot of selling activity going on. It could have been, you just don't know until looking at price and seeing what price was doing when it was in this area right here, okay? Because what delta is actually picking up, the information is based on this block, this area right here, okay? So there could have been some selling, some absorbing, the delta histogram, shifting out, pulling in, whatever the case is. But what I'm looking for is an imbalance to where below, if this is all selling activity, to where selling kind of tapered off, all right? So as price pulls below the high volume area and taps into this void here of what's classified as an imbalance there, I'm looking to be a buyer if I get the break of the candle above, okay, which the break of the candle, it just signifies rejection that prices is not wanting to push lower. When it breaks above, I'm looking to take it back up to where? Back up to an area, at least towards the tops here, where the move started to push into the downside or retracing back, okay? So again, demand, okay? Aggressive buying in this area here, okay? Lots of buying activity. Even though price chopped around to the upside here, it was a lot of buying activity. Lots of orders were being placed in the market to push the market up, all right? Pull back below the high volume area. Look for below the high volume area where there's a demand zone, as well as make sure to see an imbalance on the delta, okay? And as simple as that. There's not a lot of thinking that goes into it. It just takes time. It is a, kind of drawn out technique that you just kind of have to play, find those zones on your charts, go back and back test, even forward test, and using it. People always ask me about the volume profile, how to use it, how to use, how do I use delta in reference to volume profile, because they see those histogram bars painted red and green. They're not quite sure what it is. I get a lot of questions about it, and then today in today's video, I said let me go ahead and create this video explaining how I use delta in reference to volume, and definitely surrounding the volume profile as part of my trading. Okay, and it'll be something, and I use it when I'm maybe you really have a question about a certain area or zone, but it does. The more confluence or confirmation you receive when trading your strategy, for me, it's supply and demand. I'm a supply and demand style trader. Then it helps me, place a trade. I feel more confident about that trade because fear factor is always something that bothers traders each and every day. But as you trade and you become more successful, I say definitely more consistent, fear starts to slowly diminish. All right, okay. But that's all I have for you guys today. Let's talk about quickly about the Discord. I'm gonna show you that right now. Let's go ahead and swing over to the Discord. I'm gonna bring it up on my other monitor right here. Okay. Now I have posted some trades this morning. Okay, on the Discord, screenshots, whatever the case is. A couple of trades I took right here and right here. Now what we have is on our Discord community, like I said, we have over 800 members, all right? And we're continuously growing. I think we're approaching close to 900 now, maybe 850, somewhere around there. Well, there's two channels there, the general chat and then the trading floor. The general chat is basically what it is. If you're a futures trader, okay, because this channel is geared around futures trading. So if you're a futures trader, find the link down in the description portion of the video. Invite yourself in free of charge if you want to join our community, okay, and receive valuable information, converse, with other future traders. Maybe you're a new trader that's wanting to dabble or get into futures trading. I highly recommend you join the channel. Come over, ask your questions you have. I may not specifically answer your question because there's so many individuals on the channel that could just as well answer the question, and I'm not always tune in or on the channel at every second of the day. Okay, somebody may beat me to the punch and answer your question for you, or if it may not be the right answer 100%. Someone else may tap in as well. But there are enough successful traders on the community or within the community that can give you a solid answer. Okay, but I'm always on there commenting and especially on the trading floor. I'm gonna get into that to where I am answering questions, and those that are part of the community know that I'm always 99.9% of the time I'm answering someone's questions. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. But on the trading floor side of things, that is specifically if you're interested in coming in and sharing your trade entries, meaning it's an area to where once the markets are open, a channel to where we are basically sharing our zones or levels we're interested in trading from. Okay, and when I say just interested, I'm not just talking about, oh, I'm gonna trade this particular zone. You must show your actual trade entry if you're actually wanting to trade and share information, your trades on the trading floor. Share a screenshot of your actual trade entry. Okay, it does help other fellow traders out there in the community, okay, because they may have a question about why you took a trade from that particular zone, and then you can chime in and let them know and explain your thought process, why you took that trade, whatever the case is. So sharing information is very valuable here on the channel because it helps other fellow members. Like I said, it shows growth. It helps them along the way. It gives them a better means of understanding. All right, now let's talk about what I was talking about at earlier part of the video. Maybe someone that's interested, maybe you're a new trader or beginner trader, maybe someone that's looking to shift gears and learn a different strategy because your strategy is not working. I am not an educator, teacher, instructor. I'm not a mentor. The information I give on this channel is purely just for me sharing the information, the knowledge that I've acquired for 10 plus years and giving it away for free here on the channel. Okay, I don't know any other person that just gives away information without having something tied in. Okay, meaning a trading course, an indicator or something. Just one thing that I do have which YouTube offers is a community-based, I guess, tier program in a sense through the YouTube program, okay, or platform. And basically what it is you're just supporting a creator's content by like me giving all this information away, whatever the case is. But you get perks and rewards behind it. It's just not the fact is you're paying for something and not knowing if it works out, whatever the case is, like a trading course or program, whatever the case is. Because I know people throw away hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars with anticipation and thinking that they are going to learn or grasp something or a strategy and being able to turnkey, be able to become successful. Okay, I don't guarantee that here on the channel, because as a trader you must understand it's all on what you put into it, your time, your effort, the homework, the technique, the strategy. Okay, because trading is not a science, it is an art. Okay, something that you just really have to figure out. One thing I do give, like I said, is information free of charge on this channel, as well as I share the strategy that I use and I have put forth, explained to times again, over and over and over on this channel in videos about using paired charts and how you can, basically looking at a higher time frame, scaling down, but also a strategic way of being able to capture movements in the market and take your shot and make profit, okay, and be consistent. If you don't believe me, you can ask some of the community members on our Discord community, have they incorporated the strategy that I use, especially geared towards new traders or beginner traders? Does it work? Okay. I'm sure they're going to vouch. Okay. But ask them. I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to sit here on this channel and kind of toot my own horn. Ask yourself. Okay. If you're interested in becoming or joining one of the tier programs, and receiving and basically just as a content creator supporting the efforts here on the channel, for the price of a cup of coffee, guys, you're getting so much value. Okay, we're talking like $6.99 a month. A lot of individuals who sign up for one of the two tiers, either the loyal channel supporter or the elite member side. There's two tiers, like I said, the loyal channel supporter or the elite membership tier. Okay, one is $4.99, the other is $6.99. Most everyone is signed up for the elite member or becoming an elite member, because of the fact is they want to receive the trade breakdowns. The trade breakdowns are where I go into detail when I post those videos about my trades. So like in the live recorded sessions when I'm talking about my trades and post these videos publicly to the YouTube channel, the trade breakdowns are not publicly. They are specifically for the elite channel members, because for them to gain more understanding and value, because they are supporting the channel in a sense. So I just feel like, okay, in reference to just the simple perks and rewards of emoji badges and quick response to comments to supporters on the channel, I'm also give the trade breakdowns where I discuss in detail my trades, because I believe it helps traders out grasping understanding more so, and it takes more of my time to be able to do so. So I go into deep detail, to basically as if you were sitting next to me, but you're virtually, to where I go into detail about my trades and break them down so you grasp it, and basically an elementary understanding of why I took those trades, all right, as well. And like I said, it does help individuals out. As well as you get member shout outs, which I need to do. I haven't done it in a while. Give the member shout outs to those who have actually joined or signed up for to become an elite member. And just something recently that I threw into the bunch was a playlist of videos, because people have asked me, which particular video should I watch to learn about this or get an understanding, surrounding a concept or a question about any particular things surrounding trading. Okay, it could be about volume profile. What I've done is I've got over 400 videos on the channel. So what I've done is I've handpicked and selected videos that I think that will give you provide relevant information and covering all aspects to the way I trade, covering the strategy, covering volume profile, supply and demand. Just it covers it all. So I think that if you watch those videos that are included as part of the elite member tier, okay, the elite member tier, that was that additional perk that you receive on top of the member shout outs and the trade breakdowns. You get that video playlist as well. Who wants to sit there and watch 400 videos? You know, so I've put together a suite or a catalog of videos for you to be able to fine tune, watch, and hopefully it aids you in understanding, you know, how I trade, okay, basically, all right? So if you're someone that's maybe wanting to mirror the way I trade or understand the way I trade, whatever the case is, then it's there, okay? That's $6.99 a month, okay, guys? And you're supporting all the content that I continuously put out, and hopefully you find some value in it as well. But you don't have to. I'm not telling you to at all. It's just I know some people have asked about the membership program and wanting to sign up, where they can sign up, what do they get, what are the perks and rewards. So if you're interested, just click on the join button on the YouTube channel homepage here on Futures Trading with Mike, or you can click on the join button on any video on the channel, and it will pull up those two tiers, and as well as it will describe a breakdown of the perks and rewards that you receive for each tier. Again, the elite member tier provides you with all the perks and rewards, okay, for $6.99 a month. Now, where can you go get all this valuable information for $6.99 a month versus having to pay thousands of dollars, okay? Now, I'm not giving or putting together, I haven't put together a trading course, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not an educator or a teacher. I just simply think that, you know, and you don't have to sign up for the becoming an elite member, or either one of the tier programs through YouTube, or tier membership programs, okay? You don't have to, because, you know, me, I didn't, you know, sit there and waste money paying for someone else's trading course and wasting thousands of dollars, okay? I'm not saying there aren't great traders out there that have great programs or great courses that work. I'm sure there are. Trust me, I know individuals that have taken courses, whatever the case is. They don't trade the way I do, but they trade and are consistent and profitable, okay? Now, they spent a nice penny in doing so, I will say, all right? But because time is very valuable, okay? So that's what you're paying for, is someone's time and effort in creating a course. I don't have that type of time, okay? So to me, and I've always said this in so many videos, I believe in giving the information away for free. That's why I put it out here publicly, okay? I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, if I know something, why not share it with someone else? Definitely more so to individuals who are really trying to grasp it, because I want to see them grow and become just as profitable and consistent as well. So that's all I have for you guys. I'm not going to sit here and rant. I'm sure you guys that are part of the channel and have joined and our subscribers totally understand where I'm coming from. So look, if you're interested in subscribing to the channel, which I would love to have you on the channel, click on the red button down below, subscribe to the channel. There are tons of more videos to come. 400 on the channel videos so far, and maybe more. I'm not sure. I haven't went back and calculated or seen it. I would think there's probably around about 450 now. And come over, find the Discord community down in the description portion of the video today, and invite yourself in. But make sure to click on the bell next to the subscribe button so that you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. I just got done for today, my trading, very short session. I put my screenshots of the trades I've taken out on the Discord community. And I do that daily. You know, when I'm trading, I go on there with other traders on the trading floor, and we share our trade entries. We take screenshots of our entries, okay? I'm done. I'm going to move on and enjoy the rest of my day. Take care. If you're trading, please be safe in the market, guys, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Signing out.